All right, so my first standard. Will plan dates. A date is not chilling at my crib. You can pick me up, open my door, plan an activity, and take me home and walk me to my door to make sure I get in safe. My number...
No. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor The Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's episode, guys, we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here who is going to be walking us through her dating standards. Now, guys, I'll preface the video by saying this, okay? There is nothing wrong with having standards, with having boundaries, with respecting yourself as a person. But the problem is a lot of these women have ridiculous standards, they have too many standards, or they have standards for good men, not the men that they are actually attracted to. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into this video. We'll take a listen to what she has to say and break it down piece by piece. So let's take a listen. And yes, that was a frame where she was holding a cat. Let's jump into it.
So all my friends say that my standards for men... Hi, baby. You're not supposed to be on the counter. Say that my standards for men are way too high, and that's why I can't stay in a relationship, because I have too many expectations. I think that's bullshit. So I listed out all of my standards, and I made a list. So I'm going to be reading you guys my list, because I genuinely don't think that I'm wrong. So this is my bare minimums, which means, like, if you don't pass this, like, I don't even want to be in your presence type shit. So...
Okay, before she even cracks into it, she outlines that the standards that she's about to go into are the bare minimum. Okay, and so, like, she doesn't want to talk to you unless you meet these certain standards. Now, guys, I will say this. Whenever a girl says that these are her minimum standards and she won't tolerate any of these things, it means that she has tolerated them before multiple times. Like, whenever girls make lists like this, what they're really doing is they're outing themselves and they're explaining the type of men that they've dated before. So when she goes on to complain about lack of emotional availability and all this crap and guys not communicating with her, you can bet some solid money that she has been with men who have not done these things.
Oh, number one, doesn't say slurs unless you can reclaim them, which is like, duh. Doesn't raise his voice / curse at me. I have PTSD. I don't get yelled at. That's, if you yell at me, you're done. And
do you guys remember the days when, like, PTSD and words like a user, I have to dance around this crap, and all of these words, they actually had meaning? Like, am I the only one who thinks words like PTSD and other very serious words should actually carry serious meaning? Like, PTSD was crap back, you know, for soldiers, not for some girl who got scarred by her ex-boyfriend, right? It's for people who are defending their damn country, for people who are putting in the hard yards, not like some girl out here complaining about an ex-boyfriend because he was a piece of crap.
Ally for minority groups and respects and understands pronouns.
Respects and understands pronouns. Yeah, that's a no from me, dog.
Being a good human being. All right, so my first standard. Will plan dates. A date is not chilling at my crib. You can pick me up, open my door, plan an activity, and take me home and walk me to my door to make sure I get in safe. My number...
No. And the reason why I say no to this, guys, is let's have a think about this, okay? Why is this on her list of standards, okay? I would argue, gentlemen, that this woman has been in many relationships or situationships where the dude does not plan the dates. The dude invites her over to chill at his crib, doesn't open her doors, none of that, and she has went to see that man previously. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of people will watch my content and they'll say, oh, Taylor's against dates, right? He's against treating women. He's against paying for these things or paying for girls on dates and stuff like that. I would be totally fine if men were out here paying for dates. The question is, why should they? If the guy before him had to buy her a soft serve at McDonald's and he was able to take her home, why on earth are men expected to come out here and fork out hundreds of dollars to impress women, to do all this crap for them, when the men that they've seen previously literally just invite them over to their crib and they go? I have nothing against it. If dudes want to go out there and they want to pay for dates, that's their own prerogative. They're welcome to do whatever they want, guys, you know. Nothing against it. But my question is, if men are going to do that, they at least need a reason to do it. And they have to do it because they want to, not because men are expected to, or not because we're told that we have to. If men are going to pay for dates, it should be because they want to, and they should have a reason to do it, not just this entitled attitude of, oh, well, you have to do it because you're a man, especially when the previous man didn't need to do any of that crap. Okay? Let's keep going.
Number 2 standard is communicate and validates his own emotions and mine, and is comfortable enough in his masculinity to show vulnerability when he's ready. So I will not have some, I don't know how I feel figure it out, talk it out, communicate. It's fine if you cry. It's fine if you need a little time. Just talk about your feelings. Acts of
This is one of the funniest things that I see over and over again. Is it's kind of like women will try and hammer it into dudes to be expressive with our emotions, to communicate with them, to emotionally connect. But what you'll notice, guys, is that the men who will most readily communicate, validate women, show their emotions, these are the men that are the most unattractive and most disrespected group of men. Women, if that makes sense. So women will say that they want these things. They want a guy who's emotionally open, a guy who communicates, a guy who does blah, 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 validates her, all of these things. But if you're a guy who's communicating, validating her, showing her where you stand, a lot of women will straight up get bored, or they'll disrespect you, or they'll take your vulnerability as weakness. It really is, guys. Like, I wish I didn't have to say that, but that's just the way it is. Like, again, guys, and the reason why this exists on her list is because she has spent probably a good portion of her life, chasing guys who don't do these things. So this might be on her list. She might swear up and down that she needs these things. But I would argue, guys, that the men that she is chasing, the men that she's actually hooking up with and getting with, they don't show any of these things. Not at all.
Kindness for no reason in particular, enjoys making me smile and will go out of his way to do so. So that means like surprising me with chocolates and flowers and dates and pretty things. It doesn't have to be things that are expensive. I don't care. I don't give two shits about money, but you just need to treat me right and make sure I feel important. All right, this is like a little.
Yeah, so she wants flowers, she wants surprise dates, she wants to be treated like a princess, right? And guys, like, I understand this, you want to be treated well by your partner, that's totally cool. Okay, I understand where this comes from. It's just that when you expect these things from men, no. See, my view is, guys, is like, if dudes want to do this, if they want to treat their girl, that's totally fine. But it should be because the man wants to do it and not because he's expected to. And when he does it, he should do it on his own time. He should do it because he wants to. Otherwise, a lot of these women, they'll just run around and disrespect you. If you want to come out here and try and please women by giving them flowers and surprising them with dates, and you're doing it to make her happy, you have a rude awakening coming, my friend.
This should have been in the bare minimum, but takes care of himself. Skincare, hygiene, and clean clothes and cologne, that's all priority to him. Like, I cannot be with a stinky guy. You gotta smell nice. And if you don't have anything, I'll buy it for you. But you gotta shower at least once a week. It makes his own money. I won't expect you to pay for me ever, but you need to be responsible and dependable enough to keep a steady job. So, like, why would I trust you with a relationship if you can't even make it to work on time? Why am I going to be a priority if you can't make money a priority?
And you know what, guys? Some of the things that she says here, I agree with. Guys should care about how they present themselves. They should make sure they're smelling good, they're looking good, make sure that they have a stable income and all this kind of things. But, you really shouldn't be doing it because some woman expects you to. And, like, I don't necessarily agree with this. Like, if she wants this in a relationship, that's totally cool. I don't necessarily disagree with any of her points. My point is always just, okay, you have all of these standards. That's fantastic. That's great for you. But one, don't expect these things of men, especially like all this surprising and dating and stuff, when you haven't been receiving it you haven't demanded these things of men that you're attracted to previously. Guys, it's always the funniest experience when I come across women who, they're like with a guy, right? They've got a boyfriend, they've got a long-term partner, a husband, and I know the girl, and I know the terrible things that she's done and all the wild stuff that she's done with a bunch of dudes because I heard it from this person or that person. Like, how people just gossip about this crap. And this guy, or dudes will come out here and they'll think that, oh, I've got a treasure and I'm taking her out on dates and treating her well and doing all these things for her. And I'm just embarrassed for the guy because he doesn't know, right? He doesn't know any better. He doesn't know where his girl's been, and he's treating her like a princess when she's not. It's really mind-boggling to me. And it's, to be honest, guys, I think a lot of dudes get ripped off in this way because a lot of girls will lie about their past. They'll say that their ex-boyfriends are manipulators, are users, whatever other adjective you want to throw out there that's to say negatively about the guy. But then they'll come along and expect all of these things of a good man, right? And dudes don't have any reason to provide this. That's my thing, guys. It's like, you can't just expect things from men, especially when they have no reason to give it. That's like expecting dudes to come out here. I made this point the other day, guys, and I don't talk too much about this because I don't feel too qualified to talk about it. But my view has been, why are men expected to defend their country, to defend the honor of their women when they get nothing in return? Like, the state treats men like crap. Governments treat men like crap. Women oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes treat men like crap. So why are dudes out here expected to do these things for them, like risk their lives or give up their time or emotionally validate and look after girls' emotions? It's ridiculous to me, man. And that's not to say there are not good girls out there. People always, all police will come to my channel. Taylor's saying all women are awful. You know, I just think human nature can be awful. But let's continue.
Must be a gentleman means you don't push anything physical on me, ask me about my day, honest, kind, respectful, hardworking, and goal-oriented. Just because those are my morals and that's what I bring to the table, I would like somebody to match that. Oh, fuck, I had to take a banana break. My last standard is that he is protective but not controlling. I need to feel safe and to know that if needed, he can knock a motherfucker out for me. For example, like if I'm at a party and some guy's like all up on me, I need to know that I can be like, I'm gonna call my boyfriend and he's gonna beat your fucking ass. Like,
okay, my question here is, why are you putting, this is like the wild thing to me, guys, is why are women out here putting themselves in this position and then expecting, like, why are you at a party without your man getting attention from other men in the first place? You know what I'm saying, guys? So let's sum this all up. She wants all of these things. Fine. I think a lot of her standards are cool. If she wants those things, that's totally fine. But why should men provide any of her list? Right? Why should men do any of the things that are on her list except for, you know, smell good, look good, and make their own money for themselves, right? Why should men do these things for her when she's literally going out to parties without her man, seeking validation from random men anyway? And why is the man, on top of that, expected to intervene and to have a physical altercation with a guy for you? You know, like, dude, women are so ready, guys. For some reason, they are just so ready to have their man involved in physical altercations like it's not incredibly dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys saw that clip. There was a video that Arbor and Preach did some time ago, right? I can't remember. This was like months and months ago now, where a woman was in, I think it was a football or a soccer stadium or whatever, and she got into an argument with a guy, and her boyfriend had to step in between, and he got like knocked out or something. You know, like, why are men expected to come into physical altercations for you in a situation where you're seeking validation from other men? And let's have a look at this. Protective, but not controlling. In other words, I can do whatever I want. I can look however I want, post whatever I want. I can go to clubs. I can go to bars. I can seek validation and attention from other men, and you're not allowed to control that. You know what? If a dude doesn't have control over that, if he's with you and you're out there doing those things, you don't have a man. You don't have a relationship. You have a guy who doesn't respect himself. Let's move on.
Guys like all up on me, I need to know that I can be like, I'm gonna call my boyfriend and he's gonna beat your fucking ass. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do if some guy won't leave me alone? I'm 5 feet tall. Like, I can tase his ass, but like, that's about it. And then
my question is just, why are you there in the first place?
my green flags are somebody who lifts, cooks, has dogs, healthy family relationship, has his own car and can drive, because I can't because I have Tourette's. Does good in school, plays musical instrument, reads, has a therapist, and cares about his mental health, and has a good music taste. So yeah, those are all of my standards and green flags and bare minimums, because I genuinely don't think that that's too much to ask for. I think that is a very healthy boundary to have, and I encourage all of you guys to know what you're worth and know what you want to have in a relationship and not accept the bare minimum. So
I always find it interesting, right, guys? There are a lot of things that I agree with her in her list. Right? Again, I have nothing against standards. I have nothing against boundaries. But it's just weird to me how there are certain things in there that are expected of men. Men have to do these things for her because, I don't know, she's worth it apparently. But they never consider what the men want from her. Right? In making this list, guys, you have to understand that a lot of these women, they've been with men who are the exact opposite of the list that they provide. Like 90% of the list, like dudes who don't communicate with them, dudes who don't give a crap about them, who won't take them out on dates, who won't surprise them, who won't emotionally connect with them, who don't have a car, who don't have a job, but he's hot. Or, but he has a personality that's intriguing, you know, or she's chasing validation, i.e. the dopamine from him. Like, she'll date those men, she'll see those men casually, but she expects the real men to come along and to step up and fulfill all of her standards. Guys, it's straight up ridiculous, and it's disgusting. Okay? And again, I don't want people to watch this video and think that I'm against standards, right? I just think that they should be realistic, and they shouldn't be expected of someone. That's like me making a list, guys, and saying, I expect this from women without even considering what they want. It's like a dude, imagine guys, right? If I was on here, right? I had no job, I was ugly, I didn't care about my hygiene, you know, I didn't care about presenting myself, I looked terrible, I had no friends, I had no ambition, and I was on here and I was like, you know what, here are the things that I expect from women. It's like everybody would laugh, right? And they have reason to, because you don't care about yourself, because you're not caring about the other person's perspective. But it certainly seems to me, guys, that a lot of these girls don't care about the male perspective at all, and they just want to come along and they want to get their, their validation and just be on their merry way. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our newest members of Fiend Gang, guys. They're doing content like myself over here. They're putting out daily videos for you, gentlemen. Their names are Hidan and Detective Warg. I'm going to get my editor to put up a graphic on the screen now, guys. Don't forget to show them some love. Go and subscribe to them. Make sure to drop a comment, leave your thoughts, and as always, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.